going on, big fella?
What's going on, man? Trying to watch this this Nuggets Jazz game. Who schedules a broadcast during the NBA playoff game?
Wait a minute. Are we playing a rerun from last week? Hold on, let me make sure we ain't got the. Man, you said the same thing last week, man. Come on, man.
I know, man. It's crazy. How was your weekend, man?
Hey, man, it was a good deal, man. It was a good deal. You know, we had a lot of rain. Got my garden a little. Got it taken care of a little bit. Got some things growing out there, so my hard work wasn't in vain when I spent all that time out in the sun.
Right.
You know, so what about yourself, man? What the weekend look like down there in the bayou?
Man, it was good, man. I got some grilling going, got some ribs on. It was good. It was a good weekend, man. It was relaxed. I had some time, so I do some slabs on.
You share when you do all this cooking, you share with anybody? Like you share with your neighbors or?
Dude, my wife and I, we are the worst neighbor ever. We are the worst. Hey, you know me. When Lamont came on, was that last week? How he said I never went out. Dude, I am in the bunker. I hate people. People are shocked when they know that I'm antisocial, and I keep to myself. When our neighbors moved in, really cool people, and went out there to meet them, and my wife and I both said at that time, "You don't have to worry about us. We're not going to bother you. we'll watch out for your spot, but you don't have to worry about us. We are to ourselves, and you're going to be cool with us. We'll be cool with you."
Okay, yeah. I just wonder, man. You doing all
The parents
that
get it though. My sister and my parents get. We share with them, but no, I'm not that borrow flower from the next door neighbor guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, when I moved in here, man, my mom come in town, she always, go talk to the neighbors, and they all say, your son's a recluse. Like, we never see him. We don't know if he's alive or anything. If we see his grass is cut, then we know he's
right.
I don't deal with them folks, man. I ain't got time for all that.
Yeah, once you open up that can of worms, man, and they keep crawling. People they get too comfortable. So yeah, I learned that a long time ago. So yeah, I'm not a bad neighbor where I don't cut my grass and I don't speak or I call the association on you or anything. I'm not that neighbor, but I'm just not going to sit out in the middle of the yard and hold an hour conversation about nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So yeah, man. Yeah. So we kind of the same. The only difference is, man, you was kind of raised up in that area, so you down there where you kind of hot. When I go back to Twinsburg, it ain't the same thing up there. Like when I'm in Twinsburg, everybody stop by, man. I can't go 15 minutes without a beer in my hand. As soon as somebody see my car in the yard, they stopping by, and man, it's. But that's different, I guess. If I live, because when I was living there, my cousin stopped by every day. One of my homeboys stopped by every day with a 12-pack. So
yeah, it is. I feel you because when I'm in Mississippi, where my parents are from, where all my folks are, it's different, because I've known those people for forever. My next door neighbors to my grandmother has been their next door neighbors since I know. I don't know anything else. And a couple houses down is family. So it's like it's family all the way around us. So it's kind of different when I go back home. But when in my spots, no, I'm not, I guess, very, very neighborly, I guess, as some people would say. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, you ain't gonna get no complaints from me, man, because I ain't got time for it. But yeah, man. So, man, I guess speaking about being neighborly and friendly, and you left Lexington, Kentucky, the state of Kentucky, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know what kind of problems y'all, not problems. I'm not gonna call them problems. What kind of situations are the Bayou Bengals won the championship last year, so maybe all is good, and Coach Ogeron is up for running for presidency next year. But our fan base is our fan base. And I was just looking a second ago when my eyes was off the screen. Apparently, Nick Saban's daughter then posted something. They got after Nick Saban's daughter's ass. Like they got after her for supporting her dad, for marching and whatnot. And I assumed that Alabama was going to get more backlash than we were. I guess just because of the geographic issues and the civil right So what we trying to get to today is, man, I've been seeing a lot of comments about our fan base, the same fan base you played for, and they talk about not supporting our team because the coaches supporting Black Lives Matter. I'm gonna put you on one screen. You tell me how you feel, because my computer just told me he needs a charge.
All right, yeah, it is. Now it's kind of interesting because y'all, well, not you because you're not from Kentucky, but Kentucky people like to consider themselves the South anyway. So therefore, you have some of the characteristics of the South. Now, the way I feel about it is I don't like, that's the wrong word. It's unfortunate that it's often said that it's a small number of fans that feel that way. It's not the majority of the fan base, etc. Sure, I guess you can say that, but how do you know the numbers? Because there are a lot of people who won't come out and say things, but they believe it. And I know there's been a lot of fans, especially on Twitter, that have made statements and supported the team. But I haven't been on Facebook in over a year. And I've heard that Facebook, man, is the devil. So I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised by it. It is what it is. That's the underbelly of fandom. The fans, as long as you are on the field playing for their team, donning that apparel, that uniform, they cool with it. But once you leave the field, some fans don't give a damn about you. I mean, it's bad when a player has a bad game and fans jump all up on them.
Right.
Come on. These are 18 to 22, 23-year-old guys. They're not doing it on purpose. But fans jump on him like he's garbage. She's garbage. I can't believe that person's getting playing time. All this other stuff. So it's not surprising. Once you leave, the players are realizing, when we were in the midst of it, you didn't really realize it until later. But as old vets, we know how it is. Once you leave the confines of Rupp, of Memorial Coliseum, of Kroger Field, etc., they really don't care. That's not all, but there's a group that really don't give a damn about you.
It's funny because I got pockets of people on my social media. Some of them on Facebook, you got to accept a friend request to be friends on Facebook.
Right.
On Twitter, I guess I just stumble upon these conversations, but there's heavy conversations going on that I'm not going to the games. Like, and the craziest thing is, like, you friended me on Facebook because I don't just go out friending, middle-aged white guys.
Right.
Now I may friend a female or so, but I don't just friend middle-aged white guys. I'm not just saying my thing. So I'm assuming if I don't know you and you just don't, you was a UK fan. But when I hear your commentary and I look on the, look at the thread and see, I'm not a fan anymore. And I guess this is a kind of a long conversation. Is why I want the public to get involved, like the people who are on these on these chats and chat rooms and joining people's posts and telling them they're not going to UK games. And while homeboy Derek White said he made a hell of a post, man, hell of a post. All y'all people talking about y'all not going to no games. Thank you. Like, we appreciate it. That's more tickets for us. We ain't been able to get in Rupp Arena in years now. If you're gonna leave them tickets out there, that's good for us. So my whole point is, if you're not going to the game, why is that a public announcement?
That's why. Why you have to announce that? Why not just not go to the game? Like, just sell your tickets and not go to the game.
And that's why I really want people to, to come out and voice it and have a discussion with, some guys like myself, like in the locker. So if they come on here and they want to discuss, I'm sure there's, because we, guys always comment off the air and get in contact with me, tell me that, oh man, they comment on the show, so they're watching. If they inclined to get involved, they will. But like I said, a lot of those people just want to sit in the backgrounds and talk the little stuff, man. Like Jay Hayes said, he agreed with us, give the tickets up. But the thing is, and I was telling the people on Sunday morning before, I think I went sideways. I think I got a little bit unprofessional, but it's hard to do. And they cut me short, man. I could tell they cut me short and cut me off, because I was probably gonna I wasn't gonna stick my foot in my mouth, but I was gonna say some things that ain't made for, and it wasn't cussing or nothing.
No, yeah.
But if you, and then and that's another part of this whole thing. Like, you can look up to me, and then you can look up to me and say, I like listening to Anthony every Sunday, or I like following this. Oh man, he was a hell of a back. But as soon as I start saying, like, I stand with the players, and I'm proud to be a former UK football player, because of what the team is doing and the way they're standing up for their rights and standing up for justice and themselves. And now all of a sudden, you questioning that. Like, now it's kind of like, so are you really a friend or a fan of me? Or, the fact that I played at the university you support? Or you feel like, and that's the one thing I keep going to now, the only thing I can keep saying now is it just kind of comes across as ownership. Like, you feel like slavery is still in, like, as long as you playing for us, this is what you need to do. Like, I don't know, but I knew shit was real. I knew shit was real when they started talking about Cal. When they got UK basketball in it and started talking shit about Cal, man.
It's like this, man. If Anthony White played for Louisville, they wouldn't give a damn about you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Let's say you played for Kentucky for 3 years, gave all you had, did everything you could do, and let's say, I know it's different, but let's say they took your scholarship and you went to Alabama. They don't give a damn about you. All they care about is, not all, but some fans, all they care about is that jersey and that uniform. Doesn't matter who's in it. That's all they care about. They don't care about you as a student athlete, as a person, as a human being. All they care about is you in that uniform and winning games. Again, I'm going to say that's not everyone, because I know there are some great fans. I've met a lot. I'm just saying there is a percentage of fans, and this goes across the board, man. This is not just at Kentucky. This is at Alabama. You said had the issues. This everywhere. Trust me, Ole Miss having the same issues. LSU's having the same issues. And as the thing that bothers me is, as we both went into college, and I don't know how naive you were, but I was very naive.
Right.
And it hurts me to have these kids feel the brunt of it, because we were kind of insulated from it, because we didn't have fans couldn't get to us like that. And the fans that wanted to get to us wanted to get to know us as people, because
right.
They took time out of their day to come to fan day and get autographs and talk to you, right? So they had a want to get to know you more than just in a uniform. But now these fans have access to you, and it's crazy. So now these kids are speaking up for something that they hold dear to their heart, and now they're getting backlash for just talking. What can you do? You're expressing your opinion, and you're getting backlash. I'm gonna just say this, and I hope that the recruits understand that. Don't worry about the fans. Worry about the coaches, the people who are coaching you, because they're the ones who are going to insulate you as much as they can from the crazies, because they're crazies everywhere. So I hope the recruits understand that this is not all fans. This is not the majority of fans. And you have to have as a kid, know that there are people out there that don't like you. So I hope that this doesn't affect our recruiting. I don't think it will, but come on, man. Y'all have to wise up. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You see, it's so many different angles that this thing is going on right now. That's why, because like the one thing you said, somebody brought up last night was that uh, you don't believe in Black Lives Matter. That's a whole nother issue, which hopefully we get into. That it's kind of reminds me about the whole you don't play in the NFL, you done been there. And I think one difference is, because I wanted to get your feeling on how does this make you feel. You telling me how you feel, but you telling me in a story version. Not that there's nothing wrong with that, but I live in the city. I play here, so I've been here. So I'm hearing it every day. I'm seeing these people, looking these people in the eyes, just going to their social media, and like you know what I want to say to you, but I'm held to a certain standard. One, because I work for the radio station that's respecting the man that's very respecting Tom Leach.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if I wasn't a UK football, or actually if I wasn't in Lexington, Kentucky, like if I was in Cleveland and somebody said something, I should always get into arguments and heated discussions about defending Tim Couch when Browns fans would say stuff.
Oh, right.
So I'm talking about heated. I'm talking about like bad. Yeah. And so my whole thing is, so y'all going on social media, y'all on all the threads, any chance you get a chance, every time you get a chance, you're going in there. And the majority of these players are minorities. Well, the most impactful players are minority. Now, given this year, the big blue wall ain't really, well, I guess but it ain't, the skilled players and whatnot that are probably going, making most of the production on the defensive end or from skill positions. Yeah. And now they're feeling like, dang, do I want to go there? And it's kind of crazy because we're going backwards. It seems like right before Greg Page and those guys came, where people weren't coming to African Americans weren't coming to Kentucky, not so much because there wasn't a lot of you there. That's not an issue, but the danger of coming here, like the danger of, man, because the world is in a crazy way now. Like if you come here, you got to go to bars and fight, and you got to have fans turning their nose up at you when they see you in public. We're accustomed to, hey, you're so-and-so, can I get your autograph? Right. From the stuff I've been reading, and Jay Hayes is saying, and I mean, I understand it makes a lot of sense that it's not the whole fan base, it's not the entire fan base. It's like, and I'm sure there's a small pocket, but they are speaking the loudest for whatever reason, because I guess this is their chance to get some attention. But it's just, I don't know, like you determine fans for a minute, but all I can remember is, a time when, you see whoever, you got a UK sweatsuit on. Hey, man, can I get your autograph? Right. Now the way they talking is, I'm not going to no more games. So if you see me in public, I'm cool with it. Like, honestly, that's why I want them to come on out, come into the locker room, click your little button. We're not putting you on without a face on the screen. So you're not going to come on here without a face and a fake name. But, if you don't want to go to the game, you don't want to support the team, you don't. Like, when you see me out, don't say shit to me. Don't watch the game. Don't say shit to me in public. Root for whatever team you're going to root for, and let me worry about my life and my survival through this. Like, I don't need you to play football, and I don't need you to tell me how to survive as a minority in America.
Right. I I commend Jay Hayes. It's the thing, I always said that there's a loud minority, but there's also a silent another minority that speaks louder than the vocal minority. The people like Jay Hayes are speaking out against it. There are other people that I see that are constantly speaking out against it, but there are some fans that are being mighty quiet too. So that speaks volumes to me. That means to me you're comfortable with not saying anything about. Now, if they were professionals, if these were the Lexington professional NFL team, totally different story, because they're getting paid. It's a job. You're going to get, it's acceptable to me. But these kids are 18 to 22 to 23-year-old college students. We all remember how we were at college students. Come on, man. So for you to come down on these college students, now if they would have said something about Cal and about Stoops, they're both making $10 million combined probably between the two of them. They can take all that. It comes with the territory. But these 18 to 22, 23-year-olds, come on, man. You are really being this vocal and this vile, because I've seen some stuff that's vile, like really not just I'm not coming to the game. Like that to me is passive aggressive a little bit to me, but I've seen some stuff that's worse. And it's like, come on, man. 18 to 23-year-olds, this is really how y'all gonna handle these young adults? It's mind-boggling. It's easy to hide behind a keyboard and a monitor, and it's crazy to me having a 14-year-old whom has a chance to play college sports, that he's gonna have the same stuff that I had to go through in Baton Rouge 30 years later. 31 years later, because 2024, 31 years later, he's going to have to, the same crap is going on. It's crazy, man. Like, I tell people this all the time. This is the one that raised people's eyes when I say this, and it's true. It's factually true, is that I am the first person in my immediate family that was born with all my rights. Yeah. Think about that. I turned 45 this year. I'm the first person in my family to be born with all my rights. And we've been in this country for 401 years.
Yeah.
You don't understand that, man. Like I mean, people, I hate it when other people say, well, we came from whatever country and made it. I'm like, kudos to you.
Right.
You don't understand the stuff that is innate in the fabric of this country that doesn't allow us as a whole to thrive. And like I tell people, I'm not special. I was a lucky guy that I took my kids to, again, because now they're a little older. We went for a drive this weekend to show them where I used to live in the high school that I would have had to go to in the hood.
Right.
And I was fortunate to be able, a school plucked me out of that hood and brought me to a situation, a whole nother side of town, that opened my eyes and made me who I am today. Because the world got put in my face quickly as one of 3 black kids in a class of 70 people when I came from a school with 100% black.
Right.
It was a culture shock for both of us.
Yeah, man. Like I said, the other part of that, what you said it on several different instances when you were talking about that, was that and I think there's a lot of people who go to bat, and at this point, I'm not sure what the angle is, because it's the same damn thing. Oh, I never got my point out before when I was talking about the NFL. It's the same damn thing when players were kneeling at the NFL game. Like, we don't feel protected. We don't feel like we have, we don't feel like we have the right to be a citizen. We don't feel like we can walk down the street. We don't feel like we can drive a car. We don't feel like we can enter establishment and have the same freedoms everybody else have. And I don't care what nobody say. Like, man, we ain't about to hear this. Unless you've been arrested going to work and you are a celebrity, well, semi-celebrity, then you can't tell me shit about, well, it's not that bad. You are going to do a job somebody asked you to come do and pay you to do. And there's some asshole who stands out with a badge and a gun that says, you know what, you shouldn't be here. The hell you mean I shouldn't be here? There's this many people say I should be here. There's a paycheck stub with my name on it to say I should be here. But so now it's that same thing when when the players kneel during the national anthem for NFL football games so they could be heard. Now it's, oh, you're disrespecting the flag. Anything you can do to change the narrative. Anything you can do to change the narrative. Now the whole thing is I'm not watching UK football because they support Black Lives Matter. That's a whole other thing. The idea that Black Lives Matter is completely separate from the and I understand you're gonna make the narrative whatever you want it to be. You're gonna make the narrative. So they're acting like Stoops and Cal are funding the blacklivesmatter.org and blacklivesmatter.com. No.
Right.
Because that way, they, somebody, they can do whatever they want to do with the money. And like I said, I feel the way a lot of people do. I'm not exactly sure if I appreciate the stances that blacklivesmatter.org takes, like the entity itself. I'm not sure if I support all the ideas. I'm not sure if I absolutely understand them. I never took the time. I have read it. And, there is an agenda out there with people who explains it and turns it inside out and turns it this way and twists it that way and try to, I can't think of the word.
But
try to translate it for the common human being.
Does anybody believe 100% in anything though? Like how many things do you believe wholeheartedly in? Like that, like I am an independent. I am fiscally conservative, but socially progressive. I don't believe in everything of anybody. Like I don't believe,
right.
Like who believes everything? Like you take pieces and parts of it, and if you understand the whole, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't want to go.
Oh no, it's just not really that. It's as simple as if the NFL players kneel on the sideline, it just befuddles me that if you are a supporter of these guys or your team or just even the sweat and grind that they put out to entertain, is that if they kneel, my whole thing was, let me see why they're kneeling. Like, let me try to, why are you kneeling? And if you don't really understand, and what you should not understand, if you are not like you just stated, if you are not a black kid going to a predominant or all white school because of your athleticism, which means if you weren't athletic, you would not have had that opportunity. You don't know what that is. I mean, you can't say that. So all these NFL players are saying, if I could not run a 4.40 or better, if I couldn't bench press 300 or 400 pounds, if I couldn't jump 40 inches, then I could be George Floyd. I could be, and that's the craziest thing was what's the kid? It was Zimmer. Who did Zimmerman kill? Trayvon Martin. Now Trayvon Martin ain't a small kid. I know all the pictures they posted after he passed was a smaller version. He's just walking through a neighborhood, mind his own damn business. The same way I was walking into a job, minding my own damn business. Trayvon ain't small.
Right.
Neither is Zimmerman. So you gonna pick a fight with him. And that was just random. So when these people are, that's why I can't really understand how when people are telling you I'm concerned, and this is the part that really I kind of, thought about and kind of backpedaled. Not backpedaled on the thought, but backpedaled on the usage of when I brought up like Lynn Bowden Benny Snell and Zadarius Smith and these guys, if they were not UK football players, just normal human beings, and Lynn has tattoos all over his body, and
Yep.
at one point he had long hair or whatever. Benny
Yep.
Snell. Only difference Benny Snell is he has a brightening smile, that infectious smile that may change. But Zadarius Smith is a big old dude with a bunch of hair and tattoos. Like if you see these dudes in the street, you're not gonna give them the same
No.
love and
No.
admiration that you give them when you see them in Commonwealth or Kroger Field. And that's why, like, y'all don't know. So soon as they say, because if Lynn Bowden didn't make it to the NFL, and I go as far to say, even after his NFL days are over, and if things for whatever reason, and he has to go back to Youngstown,
Huh.
man,
Facts.
it ain't gonna be. He's not gonna get the same. He's not gonna get the same welcome. So when these guys are saying, "Hey, I want to be protected," and the other side of this is, the I don't want the whole fan base to take a bad rap, because I want to cuss all of them out. Like if you walk up to me as a fan, I really want to see a Twitter handle first. Like I want to see a Twitter handle. I want to see. Okay, you laugh. I'm dead ass serious. Like, man, don't hide me, because they will do that. And I said, the only thing I really regret that I said was, I'm not from Kentucky, and that is part of the reason I'm happy I'm not. And Cleveland is a very segregated city. If you don't like somebody, I mean, we don't mix races. It's a black side, it's a white side, Latino side, whatever. Like you really don't mix races. So it's kind of like when I come here, I can't stand for somebody to smile in my face and stab you in the back. And I'm not saying really stab you in the back, because I don't give you opportunities. I don't get close to a lot of people. But I think that for the whole fan base not to have to, and this is what's so golden about it. And I'm going to see how this plays out. If you are part of the fan base who feels like that small part of the fan base is giving you a bad rap, you need to check them yourself. Like, you need to police your own people. If you in the stands and you see any fan, don't matter the race, doing something they shouldn't be doing, degrading the blue and white, then you're going to say something. If they cussing in front of a kid, cussing in front of a woman, even if it's the opponent, if they saying something derogatory to the opponent, you got to say something. But it's kind of crazy. Last year, ain't this the same fan base? The lady was leaving the game and called the other fan an N-word. It's like it was so sad.
Yeah,
this is so. Man, but
no,
obviously,
it's like it goes in sports. The best locker room is a locker room that polices itself. That's an old saying. It's the best locker room. So fans need to police themselves. And the one thing that kills me is I hear these people, and to me, it's a hatred because they couldn't get they didn't have the God-given ability to make it to a certain level.
Yeah.
And I hear them saying these pampered professional athletes, et cetera, et cetera. But now the thing about it is the majority of those athletes are from the hood and has gone through everything that has happened to George Floyd, that's happened to, now not to the degree, but the instances of having issues with police or with something or being called something. Just because now they have a status and can be able to use their platform to help other people, they are speaking from experience too. And people don't understand, they forget that these guys, remember where Braun came from. Remember where he came from. Remember where remember where Luka came from. He's not even black, but some of these, you forget where these guys come from. Their lineage is not from the wealthy.
Hold on, let me ask you a question though.
Yeah.
You got to think about where I know John Wall for sure, Twine Walker, when they take these kids, and when they got these kids out of the hood of North Carolina, Chicago. I think Anthony Davis was in the hood. I ain't sure if he was complete. It was somebody that got out of Chicago that was in. Oh, Derrick Rose was definitely in the hood.
Oh, Derrick Rose, dude.
And they come here and they make millions of dollars in 2 years and then get up through. Like, You think it's a bit of a jealousy that they big that piece of American pie is a little bit bigger than theirs, or had a little bit more had a little couple more apples in it than yours?
And the other thing is, people, I know, and it's hard. That's why empathy is so important. Is even though I haven't experienced some things, people in my family have experienced. I know buddies of mine who experienced way worse. I know friends of mine. I know cousins. I know people who have gone through some shit over nothing.
Right.
Trust me, I got stories just recently of my cousin who had to go through some for nothing. It's like, you have to understand there is so much. It's hard to understand unless you've been. There's so much trauma and with being a black male, because there's so much things that we have to conform ourselves to the norm. So we have to not be, I don't know about you, but at Kentucky, I couldn't be 100% Van. People don't know 100% Van. 100% Van is a little ratchet. Just 100% Van is on another level. Now, the Van that I show to the masses is totally different. It's just totally different. And everybody has to kind of feel their way, but we have to feel our way a whole different level than other people. And the trauma that we see day in and day out, it affects us. It's just like your boy Jamal Murray getting interviewed, getting emotional, and it's not even his family.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even someone close to him, but I bet you he knows someone that's close to him that's going through that, and he is going through his head. That trauma is real, man, and people don't understand. It's hard, man. That's all I can say. And I've been blessed with so many opportunities. I've led a charmed life, to be honest with you. But there's been a lot of damn bumps in the road that people have no idea about.
It ain't that hard. I don't think it's really that hard to believe. And I mean, it should be hard to believe, and it shouldn't be something so easily accepted. You got to think about this. And all I can do is give examples. And every time you give an example, they just want you to give more examples. Like everywhere we try to protest, we tried to kneel it. Then we tried to march. Then the sports figures tried to use their platform. And every time we do it, that ain't the right way. But from what you just said, like they don't really understand, like I said, the empathy. I don't give a damn what George Floyd's background is. I don't give a damn what Blake's background is. If a MFer kneels on your neck until you die, another human being, another American. And I'm not saying it's good to be from another country, like if it was a German or something, but I'm saying another American citizen, your neighbor, a law enforcement agent who we pay, kneels on a man's neck. And you, if you can't say anything other than, I don't even care if the simplest thing you can come up with is, dang, that's messed up, or that shouldn't have happened, or whatever. But the first, oh well, yeah, he was struggling, or he was resisting arrest, he was on this drug, he was on that drug. I got family members, close family members that are drug addicts, and I mean, if you feel like that's okay, and do you feel like me as an athlete shouldn't say nothing? Hey, we got some real issues, bro. We got some real issues.
This is my problem, and this is where I get upset a little bit more than normal because I have cops in the family. My cousin is a cop, or was a cop. Now he's not. Is that the responsibility for cops is to de-escalate the situation. And I've got bookmarked so many videos where when there's a non-black, the cop approach to the situation is totally different. They're not coming with the super aggressive aspect. I don't care who's in the wrong, who's in the right. Your job as a cop is to come in and de-escalate the situation. Not come in with a big ego and say, "Oh, I'm a cop. You need to comply to me. You need to do what I say do because I said do it." Your job is to make the situation calmer. So for me, like, why are you coming with guns ablazing and not has not addressed the situation, have not figured out what the situation is? You come in there with a certain attitude from jump. And that's the problem that people don't understand. You got a video of a guy who had his arms up, hands behind his neck, and a cop comes and drop kicks him in the back. Like, you cannot. Then the thing is, well, what happened before? I don't care what happened before. It could have happened 2 days before, 10 minutes before, 1 second before. The guy is standing there with his hands behind his head, conceding that, okay, you can arrest me, because that's what they do. Put your hand behind your back.
Right.
Why would you drop kick him? I mean, he drop kicked him. There's another video of a white guy in a grocery store wrestling with a cop, touches his gun.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I've seen situations. There's a situation in a parking lot, a Walmart parking lot, where there's a white family, and the cops come and they fighting. They're fighting with the cops. No one pulls a gun.
Right.
It's like, but when you come into a situation in the hood, first thing you got is, dude, how many times have you been pulled over and the cop comes to your window with his hand on his gun? Like, he's like ready. Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really? I had a guy pull me over in high school because my tail light went out. I had a tail light out. A tail light out. Nothing else. Didn't make a traffic deal violation, nothing. Tail light come out, he pulls me over. I'm like, wonder why he pulls me over. Of course, I was taught a certain way. I had all my stuff, my license and my registration and insurance on me. My license, my dad told me, put your stuff where it's easily gettable. So it wasn't no reaching, bam, had it by the window. And I look, and this joker got his hand on his gun for a headlight out? Really? Right. Why you see me and you automatically think something bad's gonna happen? It was another. There was a story with a black guy, I think it was in Texas, had his AR-15 out because a group of white guys went down in town. Cops didn't do anything. He has his, and like 5 cops come from around the corner, like he did something wrong. It's legal opening. People don't get it. Right. I got stories upon stories, but I digress.
Here's a question I wanted to ask. Well, I ain't going to ask you. It's funny that they were talking about the renaming of Rupp Arena, and you know, I'm I guess a fairly intelligent guy. That to me, if they want to keep it as Rupp, I don't have a problem. If they want to change the name, I don't have a problem. I mean, just like when they changed the name of Commonwealth to Kroger Field. I got an opinion, but I don't, I'm not going to raise a storm either way. And so I'm reading on a pretty, I can't say prominent, but somebody I'm friends with, and I feel like, they fairly open-minded, which I know I would say so to my page. And the 2 people get into it, I just let them go at it. Like, I don't get involved because I don't have a side. And they'll prove their ignorance. That happened yesterday when the lady deleted her messages because everybody was going in on her. But so it says, well, they want to rename it Rupp. And the second person on this guy's post says, female says, what are they going to name it? Jesse Jackson's crib? And I was like, wow. I was going to comment. I wrote something, then I deleted one because I don't know the gentleman that well that posted it. I know he comments on a lot of my stuff, older white guy, and everybody was commenting were older white people, and it was nothing positive about the whole thing. And I'm sure nobody's gonna see anything positive about it. But when she said name it Jesse's crib, why not Cal's crib? Or because Cal is probably gonna be the most. But I want to break this down to you. For I was having dinner with a guy one day, and he said he can't stand Kentucky basketball. And I said, "You a hater, whatever, man. It's whatever, man. We the best basketball team in the country." And he was a minority. And this is what he said to me. And it opened my eyes. Not that I've never told anybody this. And it's not really a big deal if people believe it or agree with it or not. But it gave me something to, like to research and think about, was that all of Rupp's wins were during segregation. So there were Negro leagues playing basketball, and they had their own championships that they had to play against each other. And Rupp refused to recruit, play against Negroes. So the guy made the point. So when Rupp finally did play against a team full of Negroes, it didn't look good. So I was like, wow, that does make sense. So he's like, so how is he the greatest when during segregation, he never gave anybody an opportunity to tarnish his reputation or show that, there's better basketball being played. They just didn't have the stage that he had because of segregation. And I was like, so I came up with another rebuttal, not a rebuttal as if I don't agree with what you're saying, but I said, maybe, I can't remember what, but I asked something in Rupp's favor. And like I said, you would have to research it to find out. I'm not the type of person to just say, yeah, Rupp ain't everybody says. And so there's a lot of people who think Rupp wasn't a bad guy. Rupp, I wouldn't say he's a bad guy. He was living in times where you didn't have to play against Negroes. You didn't have to play Negroes. You didn't have to recruit Negroes. But the thing is, there were people who wanted to play you and you didn't play them that may have been better than you. And I don't know how the game took place when they actually did play. I don't know how that took place and what made them. It didn't turn out. So now you got that question for all these years. If you had been playing in that, a mixed league or diverse league, then what would happen? But the other part was, and to me, it is extremely simple. Like there's people that you revere and people you idolize, you want to be like, because, and Rupp has said, I don't care what you say. If he's that big of a figure, the same way now that Cal and Stoops are standing up for their players' rights, if Rupp would have done that, I don't think there would be any question. I don't think there would be any question if he had went against the institution or went against the grain or went against college basketball's norm and took a risk and bring it, because it wasn't, if you brought a Negro in there, it was not going to do anything but make your team better, apparently, because they were beating them. So it wasn't going to do anything but make your team better. So I just, and the guy, like I said, it was not a hostile conversation. It was very civil over an adult beverage. And, I was always held that story in the back of my mind. But in this day and age, especially at this time, nobody's really going to want to hear that. Like, I don't have a problem with Rupp. I don't think Rupp was a bad guy. But if you want to immortalize him, then if you want to make it, I think it would be no question had, he had did history a little, change history or wrote history.
My thing is, if the first thing you have to say is that those were the times, then that's an issue. If you have to say the things were done, that's not all people were like that back in those days. You had people who believed in quote unquote all men are created equal, but when the forefathers wrote that all men are created equal, black people were not identified as men. So don't give me that BS. But if your thing you have to defend Rupp is that's how things were back in those times, that's not very defendable, if you ask me. Now, I don't know, Mr. Rupp. I'm gonna say this, and you know this. Coach Curry is not without fault. You know what I'm saying? But I will defend that man to my grave. Now, he's not on any level as some of these other coaches, trust me. But what I'm saying is, as a player, I'm going to bat for my coach who treated me like a son. And when some people do these interviews of past players, sometimes they forget things, and sometimes we all romanticize things. I'm not sure what happened back in those days. I'm not sure how Mr. Rupp felt outside of talking to his players, because we all have those moments to ourselves where we say stuff that we might not should say. So for me, I am, without concrete evidence, I have no problem with keeping the name Rupp. I have no problem with the history. And I hate it when people say, well, if you want to take his name off, are you supporting removing all the championships? Like, those are two different situations. Like, he obviously did some great things and won a lot of games. That you cannot deny that. That's undeniable. But if we're moving forward as a country and we know that there's some questionable behavior, I mean, Kroger Field change. Is it the end of the world if it's not no longer Rupp? Come on, man. People with this change, you know, I don't understand. It's like the damn Power K. It's like some people want the Power K back. What memories does the Power K bring to you that wants you to bring the Power K back? People hate change. It's like people are mad at Mitch Barnhart because of the damn checkerboard. It's like, are we serious? Are we at that level? That's the one of the main reason why I don't like ball, because he brought that checkerboard. Like, are you serious? That's, you know what this program is right now? You understand? When we were at Kentucky, women basketball was horrible. Our soccer team wasn't that good. It was the first year of softball. It's like the strides and the facilities that this program has made since 93. Since 93, I'm not counting the 8. I'm just counting 93 is insane. But people want to hold and don't want to hear the truth sometimes. It's like, I can still love Kentucky. Trust me, I read Kentucky stuff every day. I can still love Kentucky and still criticize it. People have a problem with it. Kentucky is nowhere is perfect. And just because I have a negative thing to say about the university, some affiliated with the university, does not mean I do not love my university.
I'll tell you what, we had my homeboy on, and I got a plenty of friends, man. I think just because people, and these are the people I think that really understand the plight, and I can't say understand to the point where like you could feel it, but understand that I don't understand it. Like, so me and one dude talked earlier today, and they asked me a question. Oh, a kid asked me one day, said, if you ain't never been to jail, how can you tell kids how to stay out of jail? And he said, I said, well, I ain't never done crack. Like, I ain't never done no drugs, but I just pulled crack out because a lot of people haven't done crack. They've done other drugs,
right,
but haven't done. So I said, I haven't done crack, but I know better to do that. And what else did he say? He said, he said, I ain't never died, but I know I don't want to. And it was just kind of crazy. So, but not two. Most of my close white friends, not even really white friends, like everybody who comes around me, like I work with this dude now, man, and he kind of understands me. Mm-hmm. And every time I get into a situation when they can see I'm being either hassled or discriminated against or given a tough time because of who I am athletically, like I'm gonna make a name off of you today, or given that because of my skin tone, they will go the distance. Like, I'll be like, let's go, man. I ain't about to put up with this. No, we ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Let's go, man. No, right, man, right. I ain't got time for this. And then, like I said, it always turns into he ain't gonna do nothing, but I will. You're so and so and so and so. Then I gotta wind up pulling them out the scene.
Right,
The
right.
crazy thing is, if the police pull up, I'm gonna be the one they're gonna be grabbing.
Right.
Come on, get over here. What are you doing? And the crowd gonna have to tell them, "Hey, it's him. It's him." But no, but that's kind of how my buddies are, man. They know I'm not gonna get myself put behind bars. I'm gonna try my damnedest not to get shot. I'm gonna try not to damage my career. Because, first thing on the news, if any former athlete or current athlete get in any situation, former athlete, this, that, and the others. So
you athlete.
that's the first thing, man. That's the first thing, man. So, it gotta be a little bit more of that. And I'm not asking for it, but I'm surrounded by them. I don't know how many of them in Big Blue Nation, but I'm surrounded by them. I can name you 5 white dudes that'll get it cracking right now. Just right now. Like, so,
I always say this. And I had to deal with this when I was in school when David Duke was running for governor of Louisiana. And it's like everybody goes through difficult times. It's no doubt. Life is not easy, man. I don't care how easy you have it financially. It's still shit you got to deal with in life. And I tell people all the time, we all go through stuff, but do you go through stuff just because it's the color of your skin? That's the difference. We go through some stuff just because we look a certain way. Just because the melanin in our pigment is why we are treated a certain way. That's the difference. The other thing I hate is sometimes with us brothers that make it out, that we think we are so damn good because we the one that made it out, and we don't want to come back and
O.J. Simpson
because we feel like it was all because of me. I'm just smarter than you. I'm just more dedicated and all that stuff, and don't realize that sometimes only one of us is allowed to make it out. This has nothing special about you. You just might be the one that they chose to allow to come out. We got to do better ourselves and reaching back and giving some guidance to some of these young kids like you do on a daily basis.
And I didn't know you was gonna bring O.J. Simpson up, man.
Well,
that was a good analogy you brought up there, man. Everything you said reminds you of O.J. Simpson. O.J. ain't us. He was like, he said he's a black man. He said, I ain't no black man. I'm O.J. Simpson.
It is, man. It is. I've trust me. I've seen it. I know some black professionals who are assholes to his own people.
Because they feel like they got over the hurdle and
they got over the hurdle and feel like they got over the hurdle because they special. It's a damn lie. I know who you are. I've known you for forever. You ain't. There's nothing damn special about you at all. You just was fortunate. Like I was fortunate. I was damn fortunate. I was fortunate to go. That Southern University was redoing their track, and the only track that we could get to was on the other side of town. That happened to be this private school, prestigious private school. Oops, with great academics. And they needed some athletes. And the coach identified and said, okay, we want a couple of those guys. Point blank. We want some of those who are smart and could come to this school because y'all are special. And that's, dude, look, if it wasn't for that, Ant, I wouldn't have played football because my parents were going to take me to a magnet program that didn't have a football program. So I would have played basketball and ran track. I would not have continued to play football. And that is the truth. My mom told me, you were going to go to the magnet school. So how fortunate is that? Mm-hmm. The card was just and everybody from my track team went to the school. It was a handful of us.
Right.
And I was just lucky to be the one that was chosen. There's nothing special about me. I just took advantage of my situation.
Yeah, like I said, we both know that, that to survive, to get to this point, And I think that's the most disheartening thing, man. And like I said, I don't know what to do. Like I'm exhausted. I'm at a loss of word. And you know what? I really fear I'm gonna do something that I'm gonna regret. Not physically or nothing, but I've been silent for so long
We
about a
all
lot of
have.
things that I just let go.
We
So I'm
all
saying
have.
all the fact that I've been silent and don't address the bullshit you do. Now you want to double down on it and say, if you tell me your problems, I don't want to hear it. I'm not gonna support your program. That may be why they cut the mic short on me on Sunday. And I'm not blaming my staff. I'm not. I think they may have saved me because I was going down the road to say I think they can tell when I'm going down that road and I'm not breathing or pausing in between my sentences. I think they know it's just gonna roll out. And before we let it roll out, man, we gonna save them from itself.
You're not thinking and talking. You just talking.
Yeah, man.
You're not processing the words. It's just free flowing.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna get, like my old Marty Marr said, we're gonna get on up out of here. But I think on Thursday, man, I'm gonna try to. I see K Frank done chimed in. I think we can get a couple dudes in, man. And hopefully
K Frank should have came on. Where you at, K Frank?
That's why I got to set up ahead of time because we've been, we beg, we basically beg. And I had $100 for the first person to come on.
But here, hold on, Ant.
Hold on, we gotta get off here if they want that
$100. No, it's too late. It's
okay.
You always getting hit up about people want to come on. Why they scared to come on? Like, what the hell? If you want to come on, it's an open broadcast. Bring your, on and speak your mind. This the locker. Anything goes in here. We're not regulated. We don't have a 3-second delay so we can beep you out. Come on, speak your piece.
And your job probably ain't looking for us on here because I got people who listen to us every weekend. I just see Tyrone just now liking us, like following. So he been listening. He been commenting on stuff every week. But so we
only have 3 people watching. Your mom, my wife, and a Twitter follower. That's all. We only have 3 people. It ain't. You ain't got to worry about nothing. We all Gucci here, man. Air conditioned, good drinks, comfortable stools.
No, we're gonna work on it for Thursday, man. Inbox me, man. Inbox me on my social media or at the Locker 411. We're gonna try to get a little round table on Thursday, man. We're gonna discuss some of this, man. Maybe if they hear it from more people. If we want people to come on, if you want to sit here and go rebuttal, but don't nobody want to rebuttal in public because they don't want. I don't know. I don't think they really want to learn. Like, who in the hell doesn't want to learn? Like, who want to walk around just ignorant as shit? Just ignorant. And that's what I call it. I call it bigoted. You bigoted when you speak on something you shouldn't speak on. You ignorant when you speak on something you don't know about.
Know nothing about, yeah. And that's IG high comma NANT, ignorant. That's just FYI. If you want to spell it on Twitter, that's how you spell it.
But yeah, man, we're gonna get on up out of here. Thursday, Throwback Thursday. That's what we're gonna bring some throwbacks on. We're gonna try and get some, man. We'll try to get some guys to come on here and talk about these.
And I know our former teammates are watching, so don't be scared. Jump your ass on. Don't be scared. All y'all. I don't want to call y'all out by name, but I might have to start because I know y'all watching. I know who you are. I see you as Steph Curry daughter used to do. I see you. I see y'all.
All right, man. You gonna quit threatening our homies, man. All right, man. So we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna try it again. Well, not try it again. Well, we're gonna carry on the subject again. So if you ain't like this show, you might not want to turn it next week. There's gonna be about 5 or 6 more of them. And maybe some people learn something. Maybe they're not talking and they learn something. So
this is the locker. This isn't it doesn't say game day or something like that. This is the locker. We talk about stuff we talk about in the locker room, which a lot of times isn't football related. It might be sports related, but it's heavy stuff. Trust me. If any of y'all been in a locker room, y'all know what we talk about in the locker room, right? So this is the locker. It's called a locker for a reason.
All right. right, man. You back Thursday?
I'm back Thursday, man. God willing.
All right, man. Holla at you.
Yes, sir. Damn, that was nice.